My greatest regret was not noticing that adaptability was not selected when doing damage calculation based off the new Eevee. Oh my goodness, that's a ton of damage. So this is going off of the new announcement that we got about Pokemon Sun and Moon that gave us extreme Evo boost, which absolutely shatters Eevee's potential. I'm not saying, like, I'm saying that in a good way, like how there's good broken. This is beyond broken. This is shattered. This is busted. It's ridiculous. And that's because once we get through this crazy long animation, we can see that Eevee gains +2 in everything. Attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. So now Eevee hits like a truck, because it gets all the stats that it needs. It's an unevolved Pokemon. If it doubles all of its stats, it goes stronger than most evolved Pokemon, and that's what we are considering right here. And then while I was running my damage calculations, I just like defaulted it and didn't give the adaptability, so it looks like Eevee does less damage than it really does. But you adaptability on top of a stab move, and things get very scary. So now we can base all of like our calculations and our numbers and stuff off of this, because, okay, at 252 speed investment, we're going to have 209 base speed. That's doubling at level 100, so we're going to be pretty good to go there. The attack is also off the charts, and we're already one-shotting a Mega Kangaskhan, which has insane base stats to begin with. So it's pretty much up to whatever range you want to KO Pokemon into, because when you think about it, I'm going to go pull up Mega Manectric, because Mega Manectric is going to be a more classic sweeper Pokemon. Most sweepers, 80-ish, 70-80-ish base hit points, generally lower, and 80-ish defenses. This is like on the upper end. So Last Resort still easily KOs it with Intimidate active. So that's only at the +1. If it's at +0, or at -1, so if it's at -0, we are almost able to kill it twice over in one shot. That's the power of how this adaptability Eevee works into the Last Resort after it gains stats. So I'm basing this off of what I saw in my Fan Fridays, that we had a Curse Last Resort Eevee, and that was only at +1, and it was able to just claim souls. So now we get to keep taking this further and further, and it's also worth mentioning other stats, because now we need to min-max Eevee. The biggest issue about Eevee is that before Extreme Evo Boost goes off, it's a very fragile Pokemon that isn't really going to be able to survive much, so we're going to need to get the most out of its stats, and by just having max speed and max attack, you're overkilling everything, so those are wasted points, and you're overspeeding everything, so those are wasted points. So it depends on what speed tier you want to go into. 135 is what you are going to be able to outspeed, and even up into 140, because 209 doubling starts getting crazy, but for the most part, you're not going to see a lot of these 140 base speed Pokemon, and more of the threats as you get into like Mega Aerodactyl, Alakazam, and Beedrill, that's in 145, so those are outspeeding you anyways, which means you're mostly worried about Lopunny and Manectric Mega, if you even want to worry about them. You can drop down to like 130 survivals. Either way, that's the risk you're taking, and those are the stats you're going for. So at level 50, we have Manectric right here at 205 speed with all the timid nature and stats and stuff. So at level 100, you do need to play it a little differently, but since like the game auto levels you to level 50, boom, level 50, yeah, we are crushing that. So if we go down to 220, this now gives us an outspeed, and we just freed up some EVs to use on our Eevee. But what about damage? This is when you have to also make those decisions. So what I was also looking at was another Pokemon like Greninja. Greninja is a Pokemon that does a lot of damage. Also, let's go and find a set that has like Life Orb, Speedy Nature. Let's just go 252 special attack to make sure it's doing the most damage onto us, and then we'll bring it down to level 50 to kind of show what damage calculations we need to be running. So Blizzard Hydro Pump, those will KO us before we have our Evo boost going in, but we still can make up for those EVs and stuff. And then also I was going to look for Ice Beam. So say go be using a high-end elemental move, have a small chance to survive without any hit point investment, but that is not good enough. And shows that even down to 0 attack investment on our Eevee, we are still one-shotting Pokemon like Greninja. We are still one-shotting Pokemon up into the 80 base hit points, and even into the 80 base defenses with that. So an 85 Pokemon is going to be able to get knocked down by an Eevee that has 0 attack investment because of that Last Resort. Now, as for using Last Resort, from what we know about Z moves, you have to have a move of the type of the Z move. Eevee's normal, so Last Resort and Protect count for that. So I guess we Extreme Evo Boost, and then we Protect, and then we Last Resort. Unless we're allowed to, like, just straight up Last Resort or something, which would be crazy. But this is going to be a very reliable way of getting into the setup, and then we're still KOing tons of Pokemon. So after we also get those boosts into us, we're going to be tanky enough to survive further things. So it's all about playing Eevee correctly. Yes, it has the damage to one-shot a Kangaskhan, but getting it set up is going to be a lot different. So let's go and dump the 2v2 into the hit points and try to make it as tanky as possible. We actually find a bit more survival on the higher end of damage, but this is high base power, lowered accuracy, not absolutely reliable, and even then it has a less than beneficial chance of KOing you on something like Greninja. So Life Orb, Protean boosted damage for comparison, and then the Ice Beam we are going to be able to survive. But again, if you want to be able to hit tanks harder or do more with the Eevee and play it a lot differently, then you can start running weird numbers. Like, let's do like 188, then 100. You know, this is still going to give us more damage, still crush a lot of things, and that's pretty much it. So when the game actually comes out, we're going to look into how, like, what the metagame turns into. If it's a more sweepy metagame, it's going to be a little more tricky for Eevee to get in. But if you can actually, like, you know, play a Pokemon like Amoonguss, play Pokemon like Breloom, if a new Spore Pokemon is introduced, because we have that Mushroom Pokemon, so if that thing becomes an absolute monster, you know, you put multiple opponents or multiple Pokemon to sleep, and then you can also just make it to where now Eevee gets a free switch in, or if you're against a tankier Pokemon, Eevee can just come in, and then it won't have to worry about getting one-shot as much, and that sets up, and then it one-shots everything. So Eevee's weaknesses, ghosts, and Pokemon that can one-shot it before it sets up, which can be played around if, like, Eevee is that big of a Pokemon. Eevee can carry a game once the main threats are removed, so it is worth putting that onto. Also, you can Baton Pass into Eevee, so let's go and talk about Baton Pass Eevee, because here's the thing. Smogon has banned, like, speed boosts plus another boosting, so technically, this extreme Evo boost with the Baton Pass Eevee is already banned, because it's that powerful of a threat. Now we can put it Eevee in a Baton Pass chain that you can extreme Evo boost and then Baton Pass, or you can also receive a Baton Pass. You know, you get tanky stats. You have something use, I don't think Curse would work out, but you know, something that uses Iron Defense or boosts its defenses in a Baton Pass, boosts its evasion. You know, you evasion into Baton Pass. It's so hard to say Baton Pass and not try to say it too fast. And now Eevee's going to be harder to hit and more reliable on setting up or something like that. Or Eevee +2s and everything and then Baton Passes into any Pokemon. Now you can Baton Pass into a Mega Pokemon off of that. Imagine a Mega Salamence, that's +2 everything already. A Mega Kangaskhan, that's +2 everything already. And then also might receive some, who knows what, evasion, whatever. But I was thinking, like, you can put in a Pokemon like Clefable. Clefable can come in, use all those stats, become unkillable, has Sustain. You're looking for a Pokemon with Sustain for their setup, so it can minimize and become impossible to hit. So if you do hit it, it doesn't care. And then also boost into damage or something. But you might not even need that. Like, when you go double setup with one offensive move, it's kind of risky, but with this, you can take out Steel-type Pokemon that threaten your Clefable, you have a neutral hit against Poison-type Pokemon, and then Moonblast does a ton of damage because you're at +2, and then you don't have to worry about, like, running out of PP or something. But at the same time, you can Calm Mind to +6 on your special attack, and then Moonblast is going to hit everything reasonably hard. But again, not just Clefable, any Pokemon that's going for other setup, any Pokemon that doesn't even need setup. Okay, Blaziken's scary after 2 speed boosts, while you Eevee with a +2 on the attack. Pretty much any Pokemon's going to benefit from Extreme Evo Boost, Baton Pass Eevee. GG. So it's kind of showing that if it gets set up, Eevee has a lot of other options to explore. Also, it's an evolution. It gets access to Wish. So you can Wish Protect and then heal up and then make Eevee last a little longer. I'm just biggest on, like, the Last Resort because that is, like, the move. Also, I just realized that everything I did in Showdown looked a little cut off and stuff. So let me go and fix that really quick because I didn't have everything screen region properly. But yeah, there we go, guys. There's our Eevee. There's our stats and our Clefable and whatnot. It's pretty nutty what this Pokemon wants to do. And then going, like, off of Last Resort, Eevee does have some other coverage things that it can use as well. Last Resort is just free. There's no reason to not use it except for Ghost-type Pokemon. So if you can deal with that, we're good to go. And then let's keep looking into the other things that we can get out of Eevee because this is for Simple Beam. Imagine double battles. If Eevee survives and you Simple Beam Eevee, and then it goes for Extreme Evo Boost. So there's a lot of weird things because, yeah, you have 2 Pokemon that could potentially, like, focus down Eevee, which means you have to play it safe or you have to find a way around it. There could be a lot of setup things involved. Imagine, you know, Eevee goes Protect, Smeargle goes for Dark Void. Like, if you see an Eevee on the field, you know it's going to be using its Z move, so you're going to want to focus it, which means now Dark Void Smeargle is going to be a little harder to get a hold of, and then, like, okay, Dark Void puts both opponents to sleep, then Smeargle goes for Simple Beam, Eevee Extreme Evo Boost, and outside +4 everything. So, Simple Beam strategies, something to keep an eye out for, or just Psych Up. If Eevee's boosting, just use the boost. and then benefited for yourself. So now you have a +2 everything Eevee, and then you have a +2 everything Pokemon that just use Psych Up that can do whatever it wants with those stats. So even if Eevee doesn't survive much longer after that, you have another Pokemon that effectively becomes those stats off an Eevee in double battles. And these are just some of the combo things to think about. I was also thinking about like Oranguru. It has the Instruct move. So Eevee outspeeds Last Resort, one-shot something. Oranguru uses Instruct again, and then Eevee Last Resort one-shots something else. And then you just outspeed, and then you can Instruct and then combo everything down. So Eevee is looking really scary, and it also opens up some opportunities for Z moves, because Z moves are pretty weird, and I have so many different screen things to show that's all over the place. Yeah, Z moves, okay, apparently exclusive Z moves. We don't know what they do. Like, we have the regular Z moves, which I guess do some damage, and then we have the exclusive Pokemon Z moves, which do more damage, and then we have Eevee's Z moves, which do status, and since it has its own page on the Pokemon website, let's go and pull that up. Because, like, yeah, we have cool features, and then we go into, like, if we scroll all the way down, there's Z moves, but then we have special Z moves. So we already know about Munchlax, or we already know about the Snorlax, so Snorlium Z gets it to use the Pancake move, and then we also have the Stoked Surge Surfer, or whatever it's called for the Raichu. So it seems like there's going to be a pretty good variety of exclusive Z moves. Megas have also been recently confirmed, and now we have no idea what could potentially happen when it comes to all the potential in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So Eevee, if it gets set up, it's going to win the game. Something to be aware of. But also, it's your Z move. You only get one. So if Eevee goes down, you kind of add disadvantage right there. Still have Megas to worry about. Still have other... What if there's another Pokemon that gets a status Z move that does ridiculous things? Who knows? All I know is that this was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And it's like... This was perfectly done. And I can't wait to see what else we get in Pokemon Sun and Moon. So Eevee, now dangerously overpowered, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.